But what are you wearing?
What does it look like I'm wearing?
Good evening, gentlemen.
Yeah, so Winston, what's up?
Bro, it's a little too late to be asking at this point.
Oh, well.
See, if either of you two asked what I was wearing, I'd understand. He really doesn't have that, what do you call it, choice. You are not part of that conversation as to question what I am wearing on this occasion. And it is an occasion worthwhile to wear such a thing anyway.
Is that a bulletproof vest? Okay. That makes sense. It didn't even occur to me. Oh, nice one, bro. Nice one. I didn't get it to just now. Hey, don't be small extraction with the tire extract.
What do you think was going on?
I don't know. The guy just dresses weird for us. Normally, he has a jet fighter and things in the background. So I don't really know what's happening.
Okay, let's begin. So, Netflix released a fantastic movie by the Russo brothers and Sam Hargrave, produced by the Russo brothers, Sam Hargrave, and Chris Hemsworth. And the movie is Extraction. So, in like a minute, I need each of you to just tell me what you think about Extraction. Before we get to the technical stuff and the more in-depth stuff, like, how do you feel? First, how did you feel after watching it? Michael?
So, I made one crucial mistake when watching the movie. So, I've been meaning to watch the movie before it came out because it's my sort of thing. Cool. Lots of action, lots of explosions. That's what I was promised. I wasn't disappointed, but I made one very small mistake. Before playing, to get myself sort of in the mood, because I was feeling sleepy, I didn't want to fall asleep. I assumed, maybe it won't be, just give a little bit of a doubt, and decided to play some Call of Duty instead before watching the movie. But then what ended up happening was, I played the Call of Duty, got all woken up, watched the movie, and realized that, oh no, I have more energy than I need now. I need to go back and play the Call of Duty. But I couldn't do that because then it was 2 a.m. Like, oh shit, do I keep playing? Do I go back and play or do I go to sleep? Like, I'm now stuck in the middle. Like, my one takeaway, my end liner for this whole thing, don't be like me. If you like Call of Duty, watch the movie first, then use that energy to go and continue playing. Don't do what I did.
All right, Obi.
Movie was excellent. I mean, it took me through all the emotions. It took me through a few more emotions that I didn't know Chris Hemsworth could pull out of me. So yeah, it was dope. Maybe you say 1 minute, then we'll come back, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so my thing was when this movie was coming out, I thought another movie that I didn't have any expectations for this movie because the last big Netflix movie about guns that I saw was Six Underground, and I thought that was going to be amazing. I really, really liked Michael Bay. I knew it was going to be stupid, but I thought it was going to be like a very, very action stupid, and it just wasn't. It was a joke, and I was like, well. So when I saw this, I thought I'll see it because it's out, but I don't care because Netflix doesn't really give you original movies that are really good. But this one was insane. Crazy. Like, they shot everybody.
Okay. So for me, the movie was like, I mean, I shared the movie with Michael and Obi when the first time I saw the trailer. And I was hyped for the movie because I was like, Netflix, Russo brothers, like Netflix gives you a lot more free reign to do your stuff. That's why we got what happened with Six Underground. Six Underground was like Michael Bay
Michael Bay and
I don't know what drugs he was on. Yeah.
All of them.
But,
all of them.
No, Michael Bay, probably just his morning cocktail.
True. But yeah, the movie was excellent. Like Obi said, like it actively takes you through all the emotions. Like it's a story we've heard or seen several times, but it had a very refreshing way of handling it, and it was fantastic. So let me jump into the first thing. Acting. How was the acting for you guys?
Nobody was acting. What are you talking about? It's Chris Hemsworth. You can't do it. All you can do is an Australian accent, and they knew that, so they made him Australian in the movie. What do you want again?
But
He can't act. He can do one accent. That is his accent. That's all.
but it
He
was,
has an Asgardian that has an Australian accent.
oh come
He
on,
has one accent.
they gave
Give that
him
one
the
accent.
leeway.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. This movie didn't need acting, so if nobody acted well, it's fine because that's not what we're here for. We're here to see people shoot people, and that happened. That's all. We got what we came here for. That's the. I'm okay with it.
There were a few moments where
there was one actor. There was one actor. Now I don't know his name, and maybe I should rectify.
That's because you're a racist, Michael.
I'm not being
No,
racist.
I know.
Because
I'm not anybody's name in the movie.
I was going to blurt out Rajit Punjit, but I don't even know if that's so.
Yeah, you see now that is proper racism right there.
Listen,
That is proper racism right there.
Speaking all crass like this. If I lose my endorsement,
I'm sorry, guys.
You guys
No,
endorsements.
he is the one being racist right now.
I take all of that back. I actually went on to Google to find out the names of all of the cast because I was so impressed. But you know, it's been a day later, so you know.
Okay, so you guys are saying there was not much acting because I feel like there were moments where Chris Hemsworth did a lot more acting.
There wasn't a lot of acting from Chris Hemsworth, right? Chris Hemsworth came to us as Thor in God. He came to us as Thor in mortal fashion. That's how he showed up, right?
Wow.
However, I feel like the boy is actually like a soap opera star. He's a soap opera star in some big soap opera in India, right? And I thought he was amazing. I thought the other guy, the villain turned what's his name? The villain turned.
Hey, you and your spoilers. Yeah. The uncle, the boy's uncle. What again?
You're making this hard, bro. Why you don't know what the movie said by now?
Consider.
What's all this?
I feel like the other guy. The other guy with the other Kelly hair.
That's specific.
His character name was Sadhu.
His character was what?
Sadhu.
Him. I thought he as well. And then even though you couldn't tell, it wasn't as overt. I think the girl also, you know, even though she broke out of her hard shell at the very end, you know.
Yeah. Yeah,
but I mean, Charlie, let's talk about the action because I mean the emotion there.
That's what this film is here for.
I mean,
Michael, you have
no, the thing is, I think I got his name. Suraj Rikami. That is the guy, the other boy in the show, the one who
Fahad.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's the one who I thought I got the most emotional growth.
Range?
Range is fine. Because it's gonna move from terror to trying to, even in the face of terror, it's like he's scared as shit, but it's like, what can you do at this stage? Now he's moved from there to now trying to sort of prove himself because for want of a better word.
And no spoilers.
No spoilers. Literally. Well, for want of a better word, he stays down a tiger. And the tiger is like, okay, fine. Let's do something different. And now he's now trying to become a tiger's cub. And guy's like,
that this movie set in India, you know that sounds like a spoiler, right?
Yeah, I do realize that, low key. But it wouldn't feel as appropriate to say leopard.
I mean, considering what's going on with tigers in entertainment right now, I don't think we should be throwing the word tiger.
Well, what am I going to say?
I can't say Carol Baskin.
This movie was set in Russia. Then I get to say bear, no cap, no worries at all. But I can't do that. So let's just move on with. I mean, it works.
Okay.
Anyway, but that's the thing. He's the one I felt that gave the most emotional range for thing. Now, Chris Hemsworth's character and Serhan's character, that's his, and his real name is Rajiv. What's going on? Hold on, I get his name right. Hold on.
Randeep.
Yes, Randeep, sorry. Oh gosh. So Chris Hemsworth and Randeep's characters, they're basically mirror images of each other. One is afraid of what he's going to lose, and another one has already lost it but can't let go of it. And now they both have to accept that, okay, I'm not going to lose this, but I must lose myself. And I was like, look, I've already lost this, but I must gain, quote unquote, gain myself in order to not lose something else. I thought they were nice, interesting falls for each other. I was a bit confused when his character immediately jumped, when Randeep's character immediately jumped into action. I'm like, and we didn't know for the first few minutes. And like,
you know you are dipping your toe into spoiler territory.
Yes,
Charlie, I
I'm
don't
just
even
saying,
understand
I'm
where
not
wait,
dived
pause,
swimming.
I beg you.
Bro, can we
I
just
have
talk
not
about the
dived
action
off
scenes?
a bridge to swim in those spoilers.
No spoilers,
Wow.
guys. Okay, so I am going to say that the acting was great. The characters you guys talked about all did a fantastic job. The OV character, like the little boy, he had the most emotional range, like portrayal of emotion across board. From
So
fear.
like
Sorry?
nobody's going to talk about my man David Harbour and like his scene stealing
Yo.
I was going to talk about him.
performance. Nobody liked that.
Yo.
Oh, that's
I
great.
thought that was dope.
I see how it is. After
Yeah.
all he did for you guys in Stranger Things and Hellboy,
No.
nobody appreciates him. That's messed up.
I really see, like, you make a really good point, because that's, I don't know what it was, 15 minutes or whatever of his screen time was just superb. And at the end, I love the couch, the chair. I just love the chair. I love the sinking into the chair. That
You
whole
guys-
dramatic moment. He sank in. He can't sit in a chair. Why?
Guys,
This is the only way somebody
Moving on.
He's
Moving on.
chair inside.
Okay. Moving on. So I, for one, feel like Chris Hemsworth actually did a lot of acting. I don't know. I feel like you guys are taking for granted his portrayal of a broken man who did not care about death. I felt
No,
like
I think
he
you've read
showcased.
too much around the movie. If you watch this movie without any background information, you just see a guy who, something happened in his life, but it's not that deep. It's not the
It has not that
the
deep.
thing. It's not a thing
shocked.
around which the plot rotates, right? He actually says at the point where it's a problem, he says, just focus on getting my money, because he's still in that state. I think it's pretty much after the scene we just talked about, where somebody sits in the couch, that he begins to think, maybe there is more to this. Maybe I can get my redemption from this one act. But all be nonsense.
I'm not even talking about redemption. I'm talking about the fact that he portrayed a broken man effectively.
But where did you get the broken man from? At what point did you see that he was a broken man?
Throughout the
Since
movie.
we can't talk about spoilers, throughout the movie, you can tell that this guy really doesn't give a shit about anything till he gave a shit.
No. Compare him to
That's
Cobra. Have you guys watched
trailer
Cobra?
even.
Have you watched Sly Stallone
it's in
in
the
Cobra?
trailer. They say it's in the trailer. Like, you're just here spinning the barrel all the time, trying to make sure that maybe one time it's going to take you out. That's in the trailer. That's fair to say.
True.
And you see him literally acting like that. Like, oh, well, if I die.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
like,
don't see
Devil
I
May
don't
Cry.
see where they
Okay.
We'll leave it to the rest. So
I feel
let's
like,
jump into
it's important to say that this movie is really great, considering that no good movies are coming out in general, and that we managed to get a movie that's actually this good to come out.
Yes.
Like, under any circumstance, this would be a good movie. So to have this now and this time
on a streaming platform,
and I'm
that's
so
and
I'm so aligned with you, because this thing, I've said it a million times, that if you put out a premiere on a streaming platform, it will be dope. Look at the amount of talkability that this film is getting on social media. Look, this is a movie that we could have easily gone to the cinema to go and watch and come out and feel like,
it's better than movies that go to the cinema. So
I'm telling you,
it's
so good.
This is a conversation
it's so good.
for another time. I feel like we should have a dedicated conversation to streaming versus cinema, considering the coronavirus time. But let's move on to what everybody wants to talk about: the action.
Hey,
come on,
without any spoilers, guys.
That's not fair. That really is fair.
Bro, I'm coming. They shouldn't make John Wick 4 or 5, whatever is coming next in the John Wick series. They should stop. They should cancel it. They should blame it on COVID.
This is what I don't like. Like, one good thing comes and you guys forget everything John Wick has done.
Stop, my guys. Stop. The gunplay on the balcony. Bro, my heart.
Listen, as a strong John Wick supporter, I have two things to say on the matter. I feel like one, John Wick is amazing. It's in a class of its own. Although I wouldn't compare it to this because I've realized that John Wick doesn't play well at home.
Good.
Okay.
John Wick never plays well at home. I don't care which John Wick you like, how much you like it. If you watch it at home, it's always worse. For some reason, it looks really stupid when you watch it at home. But when you're in the cinema, it's the best thing you'll ever see. I don't understand why that is, but John Wick doesn't translate at home. If you watch it at home, it never translates.
So is it safe to say that because of that one fact, this was better?
For a streaming service, maybe, but like,
oh my brother, it was dope.
It has to be at the cinema. It's apples and oranges. You can't come on. You can't talk about a song that's
good. But okay, let's talk about
good
technique
on earphones and a song that's good at concerts. This is that.
No, let's talk about technique. How about the technique? The technique of the choreography of the gunfights.
Listen, I feel like both movies have a thing going for them. John Wick has practical effects going for it, and this one, the thing that really sells it is that one long take, which is amazing. I haven't seen a long take that long and that well done since.
We saw a long take.
Season 2 of Daredevil didn't give me this. No, season 1, 2, 3 of Daredevil didn't give me this. The Raid has a really good, but that's really short. It's like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
That didn't give me this. I haven't seen a long take this efficient ever in my life.
Considering the fact that Six Underground came before this movie, and Six Underground tried a pseudo long take car chase thingy, which was not so great. It was just mayhem. It was very refreshing to see this long take. Like, it had everything from being on foot in the car, like shooting, fist fights. Like, it managed to blend everything perfectly. And this is what I want us to also discuss considering the action scene. Now, this movie was directed by Sam Hargrave, and he is a stunt actor, a stuntman, and a stunt coordinator. He's done stunts for a number of the Russo brothers movies, such as Avengers, Endgame. Like, I think he's been in
just say Avengers.
Forget that. Just say he did
Winter
Winter
Soldier.
Soldier.
Don't say anything else.
Say he did Winter
he's
Soldier.
He's also been in Atomic Blonde, Suicide Squad, like a bunch of movies. So this guy knows his stuff. And now we've seen that the John Wick director is also a stunt coordinator, if I recall.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
I was about to say that. I feel like
all
look into that.
them.
Yes. So the question here for you guys is that is it that practical effects of action movies are best left in the hands of stunt coordinators, as opposed?
I think it's a special case.
Stuntmen are able to direct better stunt scenes than anybody. Like, they know where the camera needs to be. They know how it needs to move and everything, which is crazy that nobody thought of that. It should be obvious.
And they don't compromise in a way that demeans or that puts the movie down.
Yeah.
They don't allow you to do, if you're doing an action scene, you do it properly rather than what someone thinks looks cool but doesn't really understand what is going on. They end up with weird looking wire-full effects that really don't.
No, but the other thing too was because the guy is a stuntsman, the Russo brothers already built some sort of faith in him. So they were a lot more willing to let him do what he wanted to do because he had been asking for a project. And they just felt like, look, we tried to do this earlier, I don't know how many years ago, but if you are down, since we're not doing any more Avengers stuff for the next couple of whatever, do you want to do this? So there was sort of like his project, it's like his thesis, it's like his introduction. And what better way to make an introduction, Charlie? There was risk and there was no risk, right? Because it was not like blockbuster. It's not going to the cinema. It's good to be out on Netflix. What's the worst that can go wrong? We've already seen that. It's Six Underground. So really, and he took it to heart and he made it. Like, if you watch the behind the scenes, this guy was actually riding on the rigs during that one long scene. Like, the guy didn't come to play. Like, he's awesome at it. Yeah. And now that I know that the John Wick stunt coordinator was involved, I'm going to say that gunplay was definitely better than John Wick because that nigga was also stretching his legs.
Okay. Listen. So, you will respect John Wick, okay? There's a reason why you still talk about John Wick.
No, I'm with G on this one. Like, I will not allow you to disrespect John Wick so casually. This is up there beside it, but not above it. Come on.
I have another question.
There's a reason we still talk about John Wick.
I have another question for you guys. So, Extraction had a budget of $65 million. John Wick 1 had a budget of $86 million. The Equalizer had a budget of between 55 to $73 million. I don't know how that makes sense. How can your budget be between 55? Like it was between 70 and 73. That makes sense. And then finally, Six Underground had a budget of $150 million.
Because Michael Bay.
Which,
Question.
yeah,
Why is the Equalizer in this conversation?
the Equalizer is in this conversation because of the slight similarity in concepts.
What's the similarity? A gun? Like there's a gun in the film.
Like similarity is basically an ex-military guy doing stuff.
Then,
No. Don't do that, mister. Don't do that. Next thing you know, you start even throwing in the Taken movie as well.
At this point.
Interesting thing about the accountant, Sam Hargrave was also the stunt coordinator for the accountant.
So what's the premise for putting the three movies together? Because
So right now, my question is that which of these movies was a better bang for buck in terms of if you are an investor and you are just
Extraction.
Well,
Extraction.
I mean, you can't tell the Extraction because you don't know how much money it's going to make since it's streaming.
True.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
streaming,
but
but like I'm saying
that means it's been paid for. Do you understand?
Yeah,
It's been paid. Netflix is not a pay-per-view platform, so they've done the math already.
But that's just my thing. Like you can't, when it hits a streaming platform, you can only tell how many people saw it. You can't tell how much money it made because it's already paid for. You just paid for the content. That's all.
So
Okay, so we can't even compare.
Yeah,
no,
we can't
not,
compare.
the comparison is not about how much money it makes after the fact. After your watching of all these movies, which ones do you think, all things being equal, would have made more money?
Okay. So I know this is going to piss Obi off, but it's John Wick because they got a franchise out of it. You can't get a franchise out of this one.
I don't want to
get a franchise out of this if the guy,
I can't even talk about why you can't get a franchise out of it because we're not doing spoilers, but you can't get a franchise out of this one.
I feel like you can get a franchise out.
Okay, so if you remove, I think there's potential franchise actually because at the end you see they are now playing the two.
Stop.
I'm coming. They are now playing the two youngins against each other. That's why I think the next fight is going to come from.
Okay, I have something else for you. Which of these classic movies am I describing? It begins with the protagonist. He's been shot and he's crawling on the ground bleeding. Extraction, right?
Yeah.
John Wick. You stole that. That's how John Wick.
So let's talk about the gunplay. Let's talk about your favorite things in the movies, guys. Go ham. No spoilers. No spoilers. Thank you.
I don't think this is a spoiler because it's all over the internet right now. The long take scene was my favorite thing. When you see it, you see what I'm talking about.
Actually rewound that scene back. Like, hold on a second. Like, was there a camera transition? No, there wasn't. I watched the whole thing again, and I'm like, oh shit, this was one whole long take, and it was brilliant.
Yeah, I respect that. That was really good cinema work there. It's just flawless. They did it really well. It's amazing how they managed to pull that off. I'm impressed with that. That's my favorite scene about the movie. I like another thing about the movie where all the small characters seem to have their arcs come full circle. Like nobody is just a throwaway character. Everybody in the movie serves the purpose. You understand? Like if someone's in the movie, if they linger on the person for 5 seconds, that person is going to be seen throughout the film. Like they use all the characters that they bring in.
That is very true. I don't want to say this part because it's a spoiler, but before we started recording, Michael and I talked about a certain character that we were so surprised. I was like, what? Anyway, that's a spoiler. Obi, you haven't said anything on what's up.
Oh, I'm waiting for you guys to finish.
Well, in the shadow of white people. Anyway.
Okay, so what I like about the movie for me was how practical the action scenes were. Like when they needed to do CGI, I mean the CGI was bad. Like it was obvious that this wasn't very this wasn't a very high budget movie. As hearing that it cost them $65 million to make the movie kind of makes sense. And in order to minimize the need for CGI, the practical shots were just fantastic. Me personally, what I want to know is, I'm sure the same question you guys want to know. How many times did they retake the long take scene? How many times did they have to do it over and over? Because Henry Cavill talked about the first scene in The Witcher where he became the Butcher of Blaviken, and he talked about the fact that it was one take, and that was even like 5 minutes. And he was
nobody likes The Witcher. I don't know why nobody likes The Witcher. They say Henry Cavill can't act, and nobody wants to see The Witcher. Nobody wants to hear about The Witcher. Why?
Really? I feel like you're the only person I've heard say that. All the people I know, I love The Witcher. The Witcher was good.
Listen, I haven't heard a good thing about The Witcher. I tried to watch it 5 minutes, and I was like, maybe next week. And that was like 2 months ago, and I'm good. I'm good so far.
Okay, let's just skip over that.
You're literally the second person I've ever heard complaining about The Witcher.
Exactly.
I enjoyed The Witcher. I don't know why.
I'm not saying I haven't seen it. I don't have an opinion on it. I'm just saying everybody was talking shit about it, and I was like, okay, maybe I should see it for myself. And 5 minutes in, I didn't care.
Okay, let me rephrase. You're the second person I've ever heard any sort of negative words about The Witcher from, even though you didn't watch it. Like, the only other person who I've heard that from actually saw it, and his complaint was generally underacting. That there are times where you could see, wow, no joke.
Question.
Guys, we are not reviewing The Witcher. Please,
question. Can Henry Cavill act?
Can Henry Cavill act? I wouldn't call
it. Wasn't Henry Cavill he was accusing of underacting.
Actually, Henry Cavill was a good actor in The Witcher because he plays a niche role. Henry Cavill is like Justice League. He plays niche characters.
So why are you guys reviewing The Witcher? I don't understand. Because
Justice League can act because Gal Gadot can act. Henry Cavill can act.
Make you guys
can act.
No, they had an actor in there, then they got rid of him, Ben Affleck. So moving on.
Okay, so Obi, what's your favorite thing about the movie?
I thought you'd never ask, Winston. Thank you for the question. I have a couple of favorite things about the movie. That's why I'm waiting for these heathen to stop talking. And now that they've gotten their opinions out of the way, I would like
I've not had my opinion yet.
Bring you along. My guy.
Out over there.
The first thing I loved about the movie was the gunplay. I felt like the gunplay was nice and refreshing. Now, someone who's not particularly a fan of John Wick, but someone who is a fan of what's his name? What's Batman? What's Cancer Batman?
The accountant, what?
No. Cancer Batman.
Bale?
Who played Batman? Bale. As somebody who's a fan of Bale in Equilibrium. Gunplay.
Equilibrium is perfect. Continue.
Please. Yes, Equilibrium. I feel like this is the closest. Since I don't watch John Wick, this is the closest thing I've seen to nice gunplay in John Wick. Then there was a bit of knife play as well. There's a bit of, I don't know whether you guys caught it. Yeah, there was a bit of knife play as well. And I love the video game angles, especially on the balcony. Yeah, true. I really love the video game angles. I felt like the cameramen were working in tandem, right? They were actually part of the action, because a lot of the running shots a lot of the action shots that had running were equally jerky. They had cameras inside the car during the chase scene. It just made everything a lot more realistic, a lot more, first person, right? I'll mention the running camera again, because there was a running camera. There was both a running camera and a drift camera on the cars, and it was nice to know that the director was actually riding on that rig. So I love that as well. I love the carnage. I love how they conveniently managed to get everybody off the bridge in that last scene, so that they have the entire bridge to themselves, and the action just takes place there. I love the characters. There's something Narco-esque. I'm talking about first season Narcos, not the new ones. But there's something Narco-esque about those characters, So I loved how they built, and I loved India. I love the fact that they went to India and made such a good movie, because I think it says so much about where cinematography can go. I feel like it's possible for them to kind of make another movie in Rwanda, and it won't be about the genocide. It could be something that's actually positive. So I really love the fact that they went into India and India became theirs. Not all of India clearly, but where they went in India, it became theirs. I'm really excited about the prospects for that and for low budget production. And I'm really excited about the prospects for exposing local actors and artists to Hollywood via that symbiosis, right? And then the cinematography. Cinematography was dope for me. I mean, I was just, maybe I haven't been to the cinema for such a long time, but I just love I just love what I was seeing. I was loving the art direction. I was loving the camera angles. So I was just absorbing it. And the sound is actually very good, even though there's not a lot of scoring that was done on it. It's actually very good sound. So yeah, that's Extraction. I watch it again tonight if I had the chance. What am I saying? I do have the chance. I don't even know. Like, I was wondering what I was talking about.
Where are you going right now?
I'm going to watch it again. It's good. It's good.
Michael, do you want to say anything?
Basically, everything that they've spoken about is the same thing that got me excited. I love the gunplay. I love the cinematography, the long takes, and has some very beautiful shots in there. And they did settle very nicely into their quiet moments as well. Sometimes it dragged on a little bit too long, but then it's kind of like you can't have too much non-stop action. You literally start to get a headache from it. And they made full use of all their action. The CGI was a bit, but the thing is, there wasn't so much CGI that they're thinking back, oh, the CGI. Your takeaway from it is like practical effects and everything. A lot of the stuff they did in there was very practical, and it made you appreciate. Even the moments where they switched between stuntmen and actors and stuff was so seamless. Like, yeah, you took it in because it's like it felt very practical, felt very active. That's what I'm saying, that it put me in a mood to go back and continue playing because I'm listening, I'm hearing everything, I'm seeing and feeling all the effects and all the action that's going through in there. And I'm like, okay, my turn. Next time I'll turn on my PlayStation, but I'm still watching the movie instead. So,
and another thing that I loved about the movie was the actors worked, right? Because they couldn't use too many stuntmen because of all the takes they were doing, right? So the actors actually had to work. So when you see them, doing the fight choreography, that was actually them after weeks of training. And I thought that was amazing stuff, right? Because I feel like if Chris Hemsworth meets somebody in town, he will beat the guy the way he beat the guy for the screen. So that gives me a bit of reassurance,
I'm just looking at an article that Chris Hemsworth actually says that the Extraction movie was the most exhausting movie of his career.
Yeah.
In terms of how intense it was for him to. Yeah, he really had to put in the work.
But to be fair.
Yes.
Which movies are you doing?
Wow. Don't come for Thor, bro. Don't. Hey, look, listen. Don't come for Thor. All right. That guy is not
anyway.
He's of Asgard.
I like him, but like which exhausting movies are he to do? Don't be like,
well.
No, but he was in Men in Black 4.
That one was also.
Don't ever mention that movie in my presence again, have you? Don't ever mention that movie. such a nonsense film.
Okay, so before we wrap up, I want to touch on one more thing. So now we've seen that Netflix is attracting big time directors. Although the Extraction movie is helmed by Sam Hargrave, he had a lot of help from the Russo brothers. So it's kind of like Sam Hargrave and I think Joe Russo directed movie and everything. Now we've seen a Netflix original movie from Michael Bay. We've seen one from Sam Hargrave and the Russo brothers. And there's conversation of Zack Snyder's own also still in production. So do you think that Netflix is going to become the place where directors can just go to and be true to themselves? And do you think it's a good thing?
Netflix already is that place, and it's a very bad thing because we have, as you could see from Six Underground, Michael Bay. If you don't give him any restrictions, he will give you nonsense, Ankasa. Which is like, when you watch Six Underground, everything about Michael Bay is in that film.
Yeah,
but that's not a good thing. You understand? At least with Transformers, he has to give you a narrative, so you understand that this guy is giving me quality visuals and a nonsense storyline. But at least the storyline has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Six Underground, I've seen the movie twice. I have no idea what it's about.
Tell me.
If you ask me to give you the plot of that film right now, I have no idea. I just know Ryan Reynolds is in it, and he quotes Eminem at some point, and someone is driving fast, and then someone is climbing the building, and they're doing missions, and they can die, and some of them die, and some of them don't die. That's all I know about it. I have no idea what is going on. It's really hard to follow because it's all visuals and no substance. And that's what Michael Bay is. Michael Bay doesn't want to save the world. He just wants to give you visuals to look at. That's all. If every director gets to do what they want, some directors, they need the company to tell them, hey, listen, sensible people are going to watch this film, so give us a story so that we can make our money back. Zack Snyder, of all people, we know that if you leave him, he will give you beautiful visuals that are not going anywhere. That guy has nothing to say. Like the most Zack Snyder film ever is Sucker Punch.
I don't think that's the most Zack Snyder film for me. The most Zack Snyder film for me is 300. 300.
No, 300. He took a story and then he made it his own. Like
you're talking about original stories, not just directing.
Yeah, because
then it is Sucker Punch.
Watchmen was amazing. It was unfilmable. It was a great story, unfilmable. Zack Snyder pulled it off. I was like, wow, I respect you. And then he did Sucker Punch. I was like, your mother is not a good person. If let's come out and this because, like, I saw Sucker Punch and like the trailer was amazing. It's like katanas and there's guns and there's women in school uniforms. And I'm like, I don't know why I like this, but I like this. Maybe there's something wrong with me. And then I saw the movie and I was like, this is the worst film ever. I saw it again recently. I saw it again last year because I wanted to be sure that it was as bad as I thought.
Reassess the movie.
It looks really nice, but it's nonsense. It's a great idea that looks nice, but somehow it's a bad film. Zack Snyder, if you let him go on Netflix, he'll give you the most beautiful thing ever, but you have to turn your brain off to watch it.
But the thing is,
Netflix.
But that works in the case of people like Michael Bay and Zack Snyder. People are like, you don't give them free range because you get one thing in great. You get two things in great excess, right? You get
that is my point.
Visuals in great excess, but then stands and story elsewhere.
Netflix, your movie can't bomb on Netflix. Tyler Perry is killing on Netflix. You understand? Like, plenty of people watch it because it's free. Nobody's paying. I'm just here. All I have to do is click play. Like, it's free. Everybody will watch it. You understand? So a movie can't bomb on Netflix. Because of that, somebody like Zack Snyder is going to make something. Lots of people will go and see it because it looks good, but nobody will really like it. And we don't need people to think that it's okay to do that kind of stuff. That's why studios are able to interfere small and, kind of.
But other directors don't need those limitations to give us good work. Imagine an unhinged Tarantino movie.
Which is
an unhinged. What? Winston, help me out. What's the name of the guy?
Guy Ritchie.
Yes.
Do you know how many
unhinged Guy Ritchie movie?
Guy Ritchie. Child, we won't be able to understand what they're saying. It will be English, but it will be like English. We all will understand it.
Guy Ritchie made a movie recently. I just watched Guy Ritchie.
The Gentleman.
That movie is fantastic.
I've only seen like half of it, and I really like it already. I need to finish it tonight.
It is.
Yeah. The Gentleman.
Great.
I mean, so
I think two things, right? I sort of agree with both of you, but here's the thing. So if you realize all of the movies that have made sense have come from not just a director, right? It's come from either a director with seasoned producers, right? In this case, the Russo brothers, or it's come off a screenplay or some sort of book. In the case of The Irishman, right? So I think that has to be the standard, right? Because I promise you, whether it be Zack Snyder or it be this thing, some producer for Nigeria. Them all will give you, if you not associate them with some other people, we think together. They will give you some movement where the thing all will be nonsense. It will either
That's
be
true.
Yoruba nonsense or to be nonsense. You understand? Like that's all you need. You need the team, and that's what production houses have been doing for Hollywood, right? Because they say, okay, we have these two guys, we have their screenplays by a jury, the production, the producers are going to be this person and that person. We're going to have Ruth Carter do the wardrobe. Now we need a director, and then we start to make the wheels turn. But if you just go and take Michael Bay and be like, boss, how be you? We just say the business fan. What they are?
No. See three top directors that are doing their thing. See, when they let Michael Bay do 6 Underground for Netflix. See the nonsense he gave us. When they let Scorsese do The Irishman. See the long movie he gave us. Like,
wow, it's Charlie movie where they do tutorial on how to watch the movie. Like, I mean, how? And I feel like that's why I didn't get the Oscar, by the way, because I feel like the Academy was just pissed off. Like, how dare you keep me out from 6 to 10?
You bow. Like, I feel like Netflix just gives them too much freedom. Like, okay, here's money, do what you like, and then they'll go and do what they like, and then we have to watch it.
50-50. That I don't think that freedom is overrated. Some people don't deserve that freedom.
Yes.
No, Mike.
Some people do not deserve that freedom.
You can't.
I love Michael Bay, but he
freedom,
doesn't deserve that freedom for anything
At all. No, he does not.
What Netflix needs to do is Netflix needs to be able to pull people together and say, listen, we want to make a thing, but you need support. Like, everybody needs support. This is the thing. Everybody needs some sort of help, right? Because we've learned very expensive lessons. It's not just Netflix, by the way, and it's not just movies. Look at BoJack Horseman. Look at cinematography for days, but you won't get to see it because after the first 2 episodes, you're like, nah.
There goes for my week.
So
I'm telling you, like,
here's a tangent, and then that's where we're going.
Exactly. So you need to be able to say, look, I'm putting. Oh, if you are going to write me some stuff for Netflix, come with a guy who writes extremely great screenplays. If it's an original, let's read the screenplay first. Because right now Netflix is just throwing money. And actually, I wish they would throw me some of that money. You know,
look at this guy.
I had to make a Jesus movie with Africans. That's what I want to do, and just turn the story around and put it back on Netflix.
Okay. All right.
I'm kidding, guys. Okay. I would make a car movie.
Of course, we'll do a car show. Easy. All right. So, final words. Oh wait, my take on the whole Netflix director thing. I don't know. I feel like it is somewhat. It's not inherently a bad thing to allow creatives to, for the lack of a better term, explode in their creation. Like giving them free reign to just cause mayhem. Is it going to cost you money? Sure? It probably is. I feel like just
think very careful about those words.
Ashoku,
they should
release Underground this year.
They should release their pent-up. Well, they should release their pent-up creative frustration and then without any direction, because most of the time these movies we hear talked about the fact that there's so much interference. And Zack Snyder is one of my favorite directors, regardless of what you guys say. I love his visuals. When it comes to visuals,
I respect his visuals. What he did with Watchmen, nobody in the world could have ever done what he did with Watchmen. Nobody anywhere. Nobody could have done 300. It's only him. I get that. But he doesn't know how to tell stories.
All right. And that's so I feel like you should just allow them to like give them free range and let's see what happens. Then maybe after they
no, but the them you are mentioning, the them you are mentioning, maybe who exactly they mention, because right now we see what they come. Me personally, if I did Netflix right now at this moment, when Michael Bay comes on other script 7 over water, I'm not gonna make it do. Me, clearly, I'm not gonna make it do. If Scorsese come with some new script, I'll be like, boss, I respect you, bro. If I see your ensemble cast, how long is this thing? If he says it's 4 hours, I'll be like, bro, no, we're not gonna do that kind of thing again. So if you can go and cut it to like 2 hours, I'll give you that space. Do you understand? You need to start you see, because this is the other problem. That be why people they vex say for Nigerian movie no go the Oscars. But that movie should not have gone to Netflix in the first place. Like Like we have to be real. So either and Netflix is trying to avoid this whole thing where they want to they come across as too business like. So they have an academy that approves the stuff and all that. And I'm all good for that. If that's all you don't want to do that, fine. Give directors a guideline, right? And say here's what we're trying to do. So not because you shot a movie in Nigeria with a red camera with a few Igbo and Yoruba snippets, does the movie go to the Academy Awards? That's not how it works. Do you understand? And I think that opportunity will be great for a lot of up and coming indie movie makers, right? Because then Netflix can actually say, this is nice. Why don't you take this and tweak it? And if you don't like our interference, no matter how small it is, then you take a movie to Apple or go to Disney. Like people they. But we need to have these standards. We need to have standards. Because me, I'm tired. No, because I'm tired. Okay. Because there's a lot of good stuff that starts out great. Like, look, Chief Daddy. I thought Chief Daddy was an awesome movie. I thought it was fantastic. I'm still waiting for the sequel. Right? Then there's another one that I watched called Merry Men. In the beginning, they pull up in supercars. They pull up in supercars. Yeah. I'm like, oh snap, this is going to be dope. And then 3 minutes, I'm like, could I watch that shit on GTV, homie?
Okay. All right. So final
words.
Let's
not show our shit to the world. You understand?
Final words, guys.
Final words. Extraction is amazing. Everybody should go see Extraction. That's a really, really good film. And shit. I hope they put out more good movies for streaming. I don't know why they would do that. I know it doesn't make any business sense. But hey, I don't care about their business right now. We're all poor right now. Put out the movies. You finish shooting them. By next week, by next year, we won't care anymore. So just put them out. I beg.
All right, Michael.
Extraction is worth your time. All 2 hours of it, watch it. But if you feel that you might want to warm yourself up for Call of Duty first, watch the movie first, then play it. You even find yourself playing on the hardest difficulty because now you've become that guy. Play it. It's fully worth your time.
Obi.
Yeah, it's a good movie, Charlie. There's a part where he runs off the cliff and he dives into the water and it's so dope.
I nearly muted him just now.
Sorry.
Fortunately, that's in the trailer.
Oh, damn it.
It's okay. Just
All right. So my final take, Extraction is super, super refreshing. It is showing that I don't know if Netflix definitely didn't plan what is happening in the world right now, but Netflix is winning this game. Like, see, Netflix is really, really, really winning with everything that's going on. And
I'd rather they win than Disney win.
Disney's going to
that's a conversation for another time. But
you can't watch it here.
Happy. You can't watch it here. Yeah, Disney. Yeah, true. But I am
Apple just needs to buy all of them and merge them.
You understand, bro?
You know how much Disney cost? Apple has $1 trillion. You know how much Disney cost?
How much does Disney cost?
91 billion. Apple can buy them 10 times.
Still, I'd rather neither of them won.
Why?
That's not a conversation for today. But the evilness in the world is already too much.
Another time. Yeah.
No, Charlie. But, you know what? The thing is, Apple can just take. They don't have to dip into the $1 trillion. They can just take the new iPhone SE money and just be like, Disney, what's good?
Guys, let me give my exposition, please.
Sorry, please. Sorry.
Especially now. Especially now that you're not doing anything with your money, no.
You Bob.
I am super excited for what Netflix has in store, and I really like the fact that Netflix is playing with different international acting.
I respect that, but they need to stop giving these directors so much freedom because some of these directors don't have sense.
Look, we won't know till it is done.
A few of them don't have sense. A few, just a handful of them.
Okay. But I feel like Netflix is playing a good game. We've heard that Netflix had been losing money for a long time, and yeah, I feel like this time the challenge things are looking up. They are bringing
No,
quality
but
content. Look at
how
their
they looking up? They are still losing money. Like I don't understand what you're saying.
no, but their stocks are rising. Their stocks really took a jump when they released Tiger King, and it's still on the up and up.
Tiger
Yeah,
King.
but the
So
stocks are rising. It doesn't mean people are buying more stock.
I
It just means
don't,
the
I don't
stock
know why
value
you're
is
confused.
rising.
That's as though the world
but
runs on sense.
no, but like another thing is that they have what we read a few days ago. They have 190 million subscribers.
Yeah, the new subscribers. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
That's cash flow. I get. Yeah,
that's
true.
cash flow. Yeah, so they're
True.
doing well, and the fact that they are introducing different like Netflix took up Sense8. Did any of you ever watch Sense8?
No,
Not
where they
really.
watch me at?
Okay, so Sense8 was by the Wachowskis, and it also had these different sets in
The
India, like Indian
Wachowski
characters.
sisters.
Okay, so if you guys are out there and you're looking for a movie to watch Extraction. It is fantastic. It is well worth your time, and watch as many times as you can. So I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. Michael, you can end the recording now. These guys can be seen.